You've been trying for half an hour to get your little bundle of joy to be a bundle of sleep, but so far nothing's worked. You tried the Binky, you tried the Blanky, you even made Mr. Fluffy do the Fluffy Wuffy dance. Alas, your tiny miracle has a very large pair of lungs, but you have an Amazon Echo, so you call for backup.
Alexa, call Mom.
Calling Mom.
And just like that, Grandma to the rescue.
Hi, baby. Grandma's here.
Alexa, thanks.
Anytime.
Goldilocks Productions provides professional internet, TV, and radio shows in the spiritual and New Age genre.
Enjoy this presentation of the Jimmy Mack Healing Show.
Hey, everybody. Good afternoon to you. It's Jimmy Mack coming to you live with another transmission and download of the Jimmy Mack Healing Show. We're happy everybody's here. Appreciate it. Of course, you want to call in live, raise your hand, get with the program there, and it's all good. And we appreciate everybody listening and being live on the show as well. And weather's beautiful here. We're in the Tampa Bay area of Florida, and so it's just been gorgeous, of course. Seems to be pretty cool, actually, for us for this time of year, but we're welcoming that. It never will last too long since our summers are pretty much the Sahara, that's for sure. So everybody that's been here knows what I'm talking about. So anyway, we're glad y'all are here. We got a lot of cool stuff going on, as you know, every week. Every Tuesday, 12 noon, we have a different co-host and guest on the show with me. We always provide for y'all, free readings, free healings, everything we can bring to help everybody and contribute. This is part of our service and what we get back to. If you're not already getting our updated email version of our newsletter, please email us, info@jimmymackhealing.com. And Sandy Bittinger and others that support me will make certain that you all get the weekly newsletter. It's, of course, comes out every Wednesday. It's CGI Wednesday. It's filled with updates, links to these shows, of course, and audio and video and comics, and every part of it is free. So, appreciate y'all being on it. Definitely sign up for it when you can. Today, of course, we're excited about our guest. It's Anthony Rodriguez, and he is known as Walking Crow. He is a transformational energy healing practitioner and medicine man with emphasis on working with those in recovery from addiction. And I've done a lot of that myself, having lost my brother to addiction and drugs and alcohol. So I've even worked with Ken Seeley, of course, from the show Intervention. And I love that Anthony does a lot of this addiction work and healing, and of course for life's traumas through the chakra system, subtle energy. He does shamanic drumming, of course, and a lot of different interesting things and dimensions of spirit, guides, spirit animals, gifts, and healings, and just finding answers in an organic way. He also has a weekly show. He's on our channel of broadcast, which we're excited about. It's called the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. So that's really fantastic, and he's created that for men in self-care, and of course from his own life experiences and healing journeys. He facilitates this group and helps men in a sacred and safe, non-judgmental environment. He helps them, of course, find their voice and have a platform to speak on difficult issues or subjects that men are affected by in daily life, past traumas or triumphs. You can find out more at sacreddrummedicine.com. That's SACRED, drummedicine.com. Welcome to the show, Anthony. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Jimmy, welcome. Thank you for having me aboard. How are you doing today?
Oh, you bet. I'm doing fantastic, friend, in spite of the full moon and just coming off retrograde, as you know. And so it's been what the young kids might call cray-cray. You know that. So
Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm excited that you're, really glad that you're here with Reverend Tiffany and myself. Got a lot of callers, of course, on the line, holding to hear what you guys definitely want to press 1 if you want to raise your hand to get some healing or insight from Anthony or myself. Anthony, I know I gave a brief overview. Tell folks what you really enjoy doing. What has your practice? I know my practice, 1 week it'll be covered up with relationships, and next week it's solid people all about money, right? They got money issues, and the week after that it's all job, work, career. It's just odd, and so I'm experiencing that same thing. What do you really like to do? What do you enjoy? The men folk stuff? Because we sure got a lot of women's groups out there. God love them, but there's very few groups for the men, surprisingly, and there's just so few of us that are that in tune. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm thrilled to have you on. Yeah. So tell folks what you like as far as your practice goes.
Well, first of all, Jimmy, thank you for having me on. It's such a blessing and an honor to be here and be with you. You and I have been trying to do this for quite some time.
Yeah.
And my schedule sometimes just doesn't let me do what I want to do, so I do what it allows me to do. When it happens, it happens. What I do, I call what I do transformational sacred drum medicine, because the drum has become a central point of what I do, and not just the physical drum, but the drum of the heartbeat of the central core of my body, the bridge from the lower, the grounded self to the higher self, the ethereal self, if you will, the knowing. And I love working with men, but I'm going to tell you something. In Los Angeles, guess what men don't want to do? There are very few people, very few men. They'll start to come in, they'll trickle off because, they have more important things to do, like, happy hour, football, basketball, baseball. Avoiding their kids, avoiding their wives, grumbling about their job. They've had better things to do than to talk to me and to be with me, trying to help them out, which is fine. Mm-hmm. And what happens with me is the women migrate towards me because they hear the message. They would love to have their partners and spouses and boyfriends and fathers and brothers and cousins work with me, but that's not what happens. So what happens is the women work with me. And women listen to what I have to say about communication, because I teach communication, coming out of the darkness of the stinking thinking of the mind ghoul to come into the lightness of the soul, and who and what I have always been, who and what you have always been. Guru, go from gu to ru, and that's really what I love to do. I mean, with that, I love doing the shamanic drumming. That is just something that just takes me to a different plane every time I pick up a mallet and a drum. And it takes other people to the same place, and it clears their why am I going blank? It clears the energetic energy of the stuff they're carrying, and it aligns them at the same time when they're in the room with the drum that I use, because I use a 27-inch Pow-wow Drum, which is amazing. So that's what I really love to do. And anytime I can help somebody, I'm there. I'm in. I'm down. That's what what my purpose on earth is for, is to help.
Love it.
Go from darkness to light. Yeah.
Hey, I know you will have heard of these folks out of the Dakotas. The group is called Brule. You heard of that? The American Indians.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, amazing. And so my mother, who will be 90 at Christmas, probably 20 years ago, she was on a tour bus, and they happened to be playing at some bar in the middle of North or South Dakota in the middle of nowhere. And she almost missed the bus, and everybody was all mad at her because all she wanted to do was buy their CD and get back on the bus in time. Isn't that funny? But they are just the most ultimate group as far as drumming and just the cadence of that energy, that pulse that you're creating. And so it's just magical. So I would tell everybody, if you want to hear some really good American Indian drumming, it's called Brule. It's Brule apostrophe. And you can see them on YouTube, or, just listen to it for free. It's really interesting. So let's go ahead and grab a caller. 334 is our first caller. Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is Kira, and I'm from Alabama.
Hey, Kira, what's going on? You have a question for Anthony?
Yeah, hello, Anthony. I just wanted to ask a question. Do you see anything for love and relationship coming in? That's all.
Well, let me ask you a question. Where are you in your life with regard to love and relationship for yourself?
I've been working on something. I just want to have a partner just to help, assist.
The partners are always just around the corner, but to be completely honest, and I'm always careful with when I talk about partnerships, because most of us don't partner with ourselves, and that's the most important partnership that we have. And I just talked about the bridge from the fourth chakra, going from the lower self, the grounded self, to the higher self, bridging in my heart space. Once we're able to accomplish that, and a lot of people say they love themselves, but they don't really mean it because they don't really know what that means. I, for one, am in a place where I'm single right now, but I know that love is coming because all I do is work to love Anthony, me first always. And I don't expect or want that from somebody else unless I can give it to myself first and then freely give that to another. How long have you been single now?
It's been a while. It was an on and off relationship, but it's off.
Well, and this is a relationship that you've been going back to?
Yeah, it was.
Well, when you become willing to cut the cords of that relationship and be on your own and stand on your own and love you and who you are fully and truly, that relationship will fully go away and you'll be able to step into another relationship. But you have to really be ready in your heart of hearts to do that. I know that we always feel that way, but when we keep going back to the old, chew toy, if you will, sorry if I'm put it this way, we're not going to be able to move forward. And you have to be really, really ready and willing to move forward. And it has to take place in your heart space. It has to come from a place of high self-esteem. It has to come from a place of connection in your water, in your. I'm talking about the energetic body of your chakras, if you will. Do you know anything about the chakras and the energetic body?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have to be willing to go from your second chakra, water, place of emotion, place of letting go. That's where women let go, the 28-day cycle, letting go. It's symbolic. You can't plant new seeds until you let go of the old seed that isn't fertilized. And you have to maintain that fertilization for yourself if that's really, really, really what you want to move forward in a good and healthy and beautiful relationship. It's around the corner if you're willing to do the work. And it just doesn't come willy-nilly. I got to tell you, you got to let go of that old thing that you keep going back to. As soon as you do, you'll be able to move into something that's beautiful for yourself.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay.
I feel like you got about 3 weeks, honey, just so you know. About 3 weeks before somebody different shows up. That's how it shows up right now. I tell all the beautiful women, you get invited to any kind of party, you just got to go. I don't care if you don't. You're like one introduction away from. One introduction away from. Okay, I can hear you. You're like one introduction away from the next person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got invited to a couple of events recently. Yes, sir.
Okay. So definitely in the next 3 weeks is what I show coming up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you see this being someone good for me, even though
correct.
I need work on myself and everything?
Yeah, well, we all need to work on ourselves. You know that. So we end up generally attracting the people that we vibrate with the most. It's a little bit a little bit harder to move up if we're kind of hanging out in the pond, if you know what I mean.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you definitely want to work on that too, and whatever we can do to help you, we will. Yep. So, but I figure you got about 3 weeks out. Okay.
Wow. Can how do I contact you all off of the show, both of you?
Sure. Well, it's easy to get a hold of us. My email is the easiest way to get a hold of me. It's info@jimmymackhealing.com. And we'll send you all kinds of information, audio and video and different affirmations and things for free. And for Anthony, it's sacreddrummedicine.com.
Thank you both.
All right. Yeah, we'll be glad to send you all kinds of stuff.
Do you see where I could possibly meet this person? That's all I want to know.
It feels pretty local there. It doesn't test as your city, but your county. So within your county, wherever you are.
Okay.
It's going to be the next outing, the next social event. Okay?
Okay, thank you. God bless.
Awesome. Thanks for coming in. You too. Thanks, honey. Yeah, we got a lot of folks on the line. You definitely want to press 1 to raise your hand. And let's go with one question only. Let's stay out of, hey, just read me, like she just did, which is great. If you want to narrow it down to relationships or money or your job or whatever you want to narrow it down to, that's very helpful. 727 is our next caller. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Good. How are you today?
I'm good, honey. You have a question for Anthony?
Hi, Sarah.
I actually have one. Hi, how are you? I missed the very beginning because I had a work meeting that just ended. But I did have one a little bit to dovetail on when that girl just had. Like, I've been entering the world of online dating, and I met someone who seems interesting. He had an actual family emergency and had to go out of town, and I'm just wondering, like, should I just hang tight? Should I keep meeting other people? Do I need to go on a different site, or am I just okay to just hang and see where this goes? Like, I don't want to totally put my eggs all in one basket, but I'm kind of okay if I don't,
Wow. I gotta tell you, most people don't ask themselves that question. Most people will hang on every breath of the person that they've met. And I will tell you, you can make it. Dating is it's a filter. So hang in there with him. And see where it goes. There's no right now, right? You're open to whatever happens. So go there. Be there with it. And if you're seeing other people, there isn't a committed relationship, so stay in it. Give it what you want to give it, and you be the judge of that, and make the decisions of how you want to move forward with it. Just plain and simple. There's nothing wrong with seeing multiple people. As long as you're open and transparent about it. You're not hurting anybody's feelings. I think.
Yeah, no, I'm not open to it. I just don't have a ton of time between work and kids and everything. I don't have a ton of time, so I just kind of, I don't know. I've been kind of just focusing on one if I have one, and then seeing if that doesn't work, just get back on and go to another one. I don't know.
Yeah, if you don't have a ton of time and you're happy with what you're doing, where you're at with it,
I feel like I would kind of dip my toe in the water if I were you. It doesn't feel like super hanging out to see how this thing goes. Even with a family emergency, I'm all about managing people's expectations, Sarah. So if this guy's going, hey, just landed in Cleveland, whatever, and the next day he's checking in, that's fine. If you're not hearing anything at all, for days on end, then that kind of is my sign that you're open to do other things. I would not keep my life on hold for anybody.
Oh, so, no. I'm hearing from daily, so it's okay. I'm just kind of like,
okay.
I just didn't know.
Okay. Yeah. It tests good. I mean, it tests good. So when is he going to be back in town?
I don't know yet. There was a bad car accident, so it's got to, I don't know. He doesn't know yet. So.
Okay. It feels like as early as next week. So like by next Wednesday, they're saying. So that's okay. I'm okay with hanging out with that. I mean, somewhere between work and, kids and dogs and everything else you probably got going on, you know what I mean? It's not like you can't find something to do, right?
No, I definitely can. So just something to look forward to is all. So, all right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I get that it's okay. Yeah, I probably would hang out for them, and a lot of the stuff's beyond our control. And if they feel the need to go visit that, it certainly tests as super legit, so it's real. So it's not some made up thing. That's what I get it as real can be. So just so you know. So for now, I'd probably hang tight just on the sense of time alone. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I totally got it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. We appreciate you calling, sweetie. Yeah. Thanks for listening to the show. Yeah.
Have a great day.
Fantastic. Awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah. And so lots of folks on hold right now. You definitely want to press 1 if you want to raise your hand. you have a question for Anthony or myself, we'll be glad to help you. Anthony, tell folks how to get a hold of you. And you do phone readings and that sort of thing, and Skype and in person, I'm assuming, right?
I do all that stuff, yes. You can reach me at anthony@sacreddrummedicine.com, or you can go to my website at www.sacreddrummedicine.com. You can find me on the Facebook. You can find me on the Instagram. You can find me just about everywhere.
All over.
Internet. I'm all over. I'm everywhere because I'm everywhere.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
So run us through a session. Yeah. Run us through a session or reading. What does it generally consist of?
Usually my readings consist of, people are normally, there's something going on physically, or there's something going on emotionally, that, stress, anxiety, physical issues. And when I talk to people, I do a walk through their subtle energy body. I look at them and I'll start asking some questions, and on an issue. Now, I'll never say what the issue is, because that's none of my business until they make it my business. But I will take to where that issue is landing in their body, and where they're actually stuck, whether it's in their voice, whether it's in their thinking of the darkness of their thinking, whether it's they're ungrounded, whether it's in their second chakra, water connection to others, in their lower no self-esteem. As you heard with the first caller, as soon as she asked that question, I have to tell you, people are a lot of times desperate for love, desperate for a lot of things. They want things, and they don't realize how much they have to give themselves first. And that's really what I try to guide people towards. Give you first always in your life, you first always, as in my life. I don't spend a lot of time I don't waste a lot of time on really, I'm going to say this out loud, on frivolous relationships, people who are takers, and I see it, and I'm like, look, nope, not going there. I'm going to put my time where it's important. I'm going to give myself the things that I want to give myself first. I don't know what anybody wants from me, but I know what I want for me. And I'll help you. I'll try to help you get there in any way that I can. And it's usually with the subtle energy body reading, and then having a conversation about that thing. I work at part-time in a farmer's market type grocery store, and they have a vitamin department in there, and people come in there looking for probiotics, and they come in there looking for liver cleanses and all kinds of things, and we have a conversation, and they usually walk out without buying anything. They walk out with my card. It's what happens. Wow. Yeah. Those aren't the things that they need. They're holding energy in their body, and they don't know how to become unstuck in their life, by the way we were raised, by the things that people said to us, by the traumas that happened in our life, the things that we don't walk through but we think through. Constant thinking is just it disrupts the flow of energy in the subtle body, and we start to manifest dis-ease, sickness. Smoking, drinking, urinary tract infections. All of a sudden I need a liver cleanse because somebody said I should do a liver cleanse. But what are you talking about? Why? They never ask themselves why. They just start doing things because somebody said so. But the people who don't have any more information for them other than, I saw this thing on the internet and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no. Let's stop right here and let's take a look at you and see how we can move you forward and see where that stuck energy is. And I usually see it. As soon as they walk up, I'm like, I'm trying not to look at people, but you know how that is. They're wide open.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm seeing them every time I see them. They have comic strip bubbles over their head, and I'm just like, oh my God, here we go. Yeah. So believe me, I get it. Yeah. Hey, 818's our next caller. She's from your neck of the woods. Hey, Carolyn, 818, how are you? You're in California, right?
Yes, I'm fine. How are both of you doing today?
Oh, good. Thanks for asking, honey. Yeah, and anybody else? We got a lot of folks on the call. You just need to press 1 if you want to raise your hand and have a question for Anthony. You have something you'd like to ask Anthony?
Yes, I do have a question. I wanted to know, I know that I have emotional blockages in my heart chakra, and I wanted to obtain some help clearing that.
Okay. One of the reasons for blockages in the heart chakras is because could be from past traumas or breakups and broken connections in the second chakra, the place of water, place of emotion, place of connection to others, place of fight or flight. When things happen to us in our life, that low or no self-esteem becomes apparent because we start reaching for things that don't really help us. We start reaching for relationships that don't help us, or they go away, or that we keep making poor decisions, and we have to fix our picker. And right now I'm feeling you right between my third chakra and my second chakra. And I'm feeling like, things haven't gone so well for you. Did you have somebody pass recently?
I don't, not recently. My mother passed in 2006. That's the last one. I can't remember anybody else passing.
And what about relationship-wise? Have you been in relationships? Have you been making an effort to do that, or are you in one right now?
Well, no, I'm not in one right now. I tried about 3 years ago. And how did that didn't work out. Oh, that didn't work out.
How did that
leave you? I decided to leave it alone. No, but that wasn't, I had this years, maybe 30 years ago when I had a lot of trauma and hurts and pains, in my heart chakra. And it's just been there. It's stuck.
Yeah. And what have you done anything to help yourself with regards to that? I mean, have you done any writing to allow yourself to speak of those things? Or do you write about those things? Or do you just spend your time thinking about what happened, what could have happened, what should have happened, what didn't happen?
No, I write. I talk about it to myself. I meditate. I've used affirmations. I've used mantras, just whatever I could think of. I just know, it's affected me.
Well, talking to yourself about it is staying in the story of it. Giving it to somebody else, giving it to Creator, Great Spirit, God, if you want to call him God, universe, giving it to another human being, allowing them to hear you and to maybe talk about the feelings of that and what that was like for you is what's going to allow you to let that go. Spinning on the story up to yourself is not going to help you do that. Really writing it down, taking the match and offering it with an intention of freedom to create a great spirit of God. When you burn it and you watch the smoke rise, you put it in your left hand, your right hand, your hand of giving. Give it away, give it to God, give it to another human being. A right side is divine masculine, moving forward, manifestation, giving. Give that to yourself. Give yourself the opportunity to be free from the story, and stop. And which, this is a little strong, but stop talking to yourself about what you already know.
I don't do it often anymore, but I understand you have to talk about it. But people give it away.
Yeah,
Stand up will at least clear out some heart stuff for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, so if you're facing due north,
Yes.
We'll just see where there's a heart blockage right now to pull you forward.
Forward.
And we're going to release it, resolve it, delete and erase it, disentangle it all out now into the void. Pull her straight back when you're done.
It's done.
And it'll pull you straight back and release all that. And we're just going to drop in the highest and best, 100% functioning heart, open and receptive to love, relationships, romance, connectivity, they're saying, to spirit and goddess energy. That's going to pull you straight forward when it comes in. I just did the fish.
Okay, it pulled me forward.
Love it. It'll fill you up, love, and it'll bring you back to neutral once it's done.
Oh, it did. Thank you, Jimmy.
You're welcome, love. Thanks for always listening. We appreciate you being on the show.
Oh, yes. I love the show.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too, honey. Lots of folks on the call. Definitely want to press 1 if you want to raise your hand if you have a question for Anthony or myself. Anthony, you find you do a lot of love and self-love work as well. What is the main thing that's been coming up lately?
the third chakra is a tricky low or no self-esteem, and that's there's a lot of that because and if you look at the political landscape, across the U.S., you see there's a lot of people being beaten down and just they're tired, and they don't know how to rebound, they're tired of having to rebound, and I'm seeing a lot more people who just don't know how to stand on their own 2 feet. They're looking for somebody else to do it for them. And I got to tell you, honestly, you have to do it yourself. You have to be able to step into your ground, your root, and be well rooted in your foundation of who you are or who you want to be. And let go of those spoken and unspoken expectations that we have of others, because man, that's a burden that we carry, and we carry it in our low. I call it the low or no self-esteem. In the place of fire, where we just don't know how to get there. We just don't know how to be more of ourselves. And I walk people through breath work, as a matter of fact, because fire in your third chakra needs oxygen to burn. And if you're not breathing correctly, you're stopping your breath. And moms do this especially. Moms who always have 110 things to do never take a full breath into their body. They always take it to about their lower fifth, right above their heart, and it gets stuck there because they're always going from one thing to the next. So if people can really learn how to breathe into their heart space, through their heart space of love, and into that place of the fire that sits below it, and allow that fire to be stoked by their oxygen, by their breath, that in and of itself will change the way that they feel about themselves. It warms the heart. As the fire grows, it warms the heart. It boils the water in the second chakra, and it starts to boil, and that steam starts to rise. Esteem starts to rise, and it clears out the mucus of the fifth chakra and the third eye, and you start to come out of that third eye thinking and come into your voice and speak about it and talk about it and give yourself the nurturance of saying, no more. This is where this stops. This is not happening anymore. I talk about the story. I learned something from my ex-wife. She was a child of molestation, and one of the things that she said to a group of women that we were in our workshop, she said, you need to understand that the story is not happening anymore physically. That's not happening anymore. It's only happening in the story. Well, because we carry the story, and we carry the story of what happened. That also carries low or no self-esteem. We don't know how to come out of that vicious cycle of that story. So the breathing actually helps you to go there. I'm giving myself breath. I'm giving myself breath. I'm giving myself fire. I'm giving myself esteem. You're going right inside your body and coming out of your head of the thinking, and it changes your physiology, and it changes your emotion, and it changes your spirit if you're willing to constantly become consistent in that exercise. And I try to get people to do that whenever something comes up in their life. Stop, take a breath. Where does it land? Keep breathing there. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. And things normally pass. As it, like yoga or anything else, it becomes a practice. It'll start to change your life, and it'll start to change the clarity and bring clarity. It'll start to clear out that mucus, those blockages that are in the fifth chakra or in the third eye or in the fourth chakra, the heart. We carry a lot of things in our heart. I'm loved. Air, lungs. I'm loved. I don't have the capacity to love. I don't have capacity to be loved. What is it that you believe about yourself? And I tell people to try to change their belief systems as well, because we live with a lot of belief systems that aren't ours.
Right. We're taking on other stuff. My mom used to always say, "What does it really matter anyhow?" And I always say, "Will it matter 5 or 10 years from now?" And a lot of that stuff is a big heck of a no, right?
Yeah. I mean, I have done a lot of shadow work that was really necessary. That without that shadow work, I would have been trapped as a child. in anger, in childishness, as a man, in childishness. And, as a man, what I learned was women like a man who can be childlike, but not childish.
Right.
True.
True.
And I think the same for men right now too with women. They don't like a childish woman. They want a woman who's going to stand on her own and be a partner, not a I don't want to say a burden. They want a partner who's who not always depend on them for everything. We able to bring.
And I would say one that would contribute too. You want them to contribute, at least step up and offer something in contribution as well.
Absolutely. And if it can be a happy emotional state, guess what? Bingo. Even if you don't have money or a skill, a healthy emotional state is worth $1 million.
Right.
It's amazing.
True.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well said. Well, we got a lot of folks in listen mode. You definitely want to press 1 if you want to ask a question of Anthony or myself. Anthony, tell folks how to get a hold of you again, the website, maybe your email address and phone number. How is it best to get a hold of you to schedule sessions?
Best way to get a hold of me immediately is you can dial the 818 area code at 442-1717, or you can reach me at anthony@sacreddrummedicine.com or www.sacreddrummedicine.com is my website. You can also find me on Facebook under Anthony J. Rodriguez Walking Crow. I'm easy to find. Just reach out. Just drop a dime. Well,
love it. Yeah, and your show's at 4 p.m. today, right?
At 4 p.m. today, the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show, and a lot of what I talk about is just pure healing, and whatever downloads come to me as I'm speaking. I walk through the energetic body and how we step into our emotion or don't, and I try to help people cross over that bridge of the heart chakra. There it is, of self-love, to be able to transcend, transmute, transition, and transform. It's easy, and it sounds really easy for me to say, but it took me a lot of years to be able to say, here I am, I'm here. I'm as without holding on to the skirt tail or shirt tail of my mother and father of that old nonsense that I was raised with, and
right.
a
lot of us.
Yeah. So
we've had to outgrow it.
Yeah, it's really about empowerment. Let me say it this way: it's really about re-empowerment, because we were empowered lifetimes ago. And a lot of our lineages have been broken, and what I've learned through my path is my lineage was repaired. I was the repair of my lineage, and I stand in who I am, and that's where the drumming comes from. That's where I get downloads of native, what sound like native chants that I don't speak another language other than Spanish and English, and English is not my language. I know this, and Spanish is not my language. So I'm going to assume, and they say one should never assume, that whatever is getting channeled through me is my native language from lifetimes ago. 7 generations back.
Right.
And it's funny because as I speak, it comes out of me almost like an exclamation point, or to make a point, and it's not a language that I understand. But I'm not embarrassed by it. I don't not do it or try to hide it, because it has become a part of me, because I believe it is a part of me. And what is a part of you? The things that you might be afraid to let people know or ashamed of, that is a part of you. Kind of like the psychics and mediums. A lot of times growing up, they don't tell people what they do or know, because people think they're weird, or they're going to be persecuted, not prosecuted. They're going to be shamed, or they're going to be, there's retribution for that kind of stuff. And so a lot of times younger children or younger teens or younger adults shut down, and they don't tell. They don't say anything, and they don't know what to do with the information. I'm all about give the information, say it, speak up. So when I'm in the middle of a talk and I say, "Oi, shino wana honata," I don't know.
There
what
you
that
go.
means.
Wow.
But
Brian. I know Brian Rawls on our channel too does light language, and I would agree with you and laugh. And my 3-year-old granddaughter told my son one day, she said, "I love going to Grandpa's house," meaning me, because there's so many ghosties there. And what a Gemini star child she is to say that, and she has to go out every night and say goodnight at the moon. I mean, how wild is that for age 3, right? So that's the kind of stuff that happens. And for you and I, this is what we do. This is our helping, our calling, our service. I mean, this isn't our hobby. We just live it morning, noon, and night. So good stuff. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today and contributing, and I really appreciate it. And folks, you got to check out his show today. It's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, of course, 1 p.m. Pacific. You can see it live on Facebook today, and that's through the Goldilocks Productions Facebook page, and that's Goldilocks, GOLDYLOCKS Productions Facebook page. And I'm on Tuesdays at 12 noon, and Anthony's on at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you definitely want to check that show out. And thanks so much, friend. Tell folks again how to get a hold of you before we sign off.
You can get a hold of me by calling area code 818-442-1717. You can reach out to me through email at anthony@sacreddrummedicine.com, or you can go to www.sacreddrummedicine.com, and you can leave a message on my website, or you can peruse through and see what it is that I do and what my offerings are, and just get some information about how maybe I can help you or how you can help yourself. I'll say it that way, how you can help yourself. I hope.
Right. Love it. Thank you so much for being on the show today, pal. I really appreciate it. I hope to be on your show one day soon as well. Anytime that Spirit guides us to be together, I'm going to be there for you, of course. I appreciate you being on the channel. And gosh, we love Reverend Tiffany Whitestage Woman too for producing us and doing so well with that. Special shout out to Sandy Bittinger for all my social media and marketing and all that she does for me as well. You can also see me live in the Tampa Bay area by going to kodawariyoga.com. The place is gorgeous. I'm there every Wednesday and Friday by appointment. So if you're in person, that's great. We do phone, of course, 48 states, and Skype and Zoom around the world for sessions. And anytime we can help y'all, just reach out. I want to wish everybody that the rest of your life will be the best of your life. And remember to make progress every day. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.
Thank you. Thank you, Jimmy.
You're welcome, friend. Bye for now.